Now, I'm very blessed right now because I get to introduce you to somebody that has been one of my personal heroes. And I do not use that word lightly. This is a gentleman that before he even knew who I was one of those lights in my life. His intellect was to my brain like water to parched, yearning earth. His joy and his books and his inspiration to me was fuel to my engines as I was a student coming up in the world. And when I got to know him, when I saw that his words reverberated not just with the truth that was in them, but they reverberated in his very being, I recognized that this was truly a great American, a great part of the human family. I've watched Dr. West now in my life much more closely that he has now become a personal friend of mine. I see that he is one of the powerful purveyors of truth in our world. His words will speak to your intellect, but they will touch you at your core. He is a man that if you take the time to read his books, will inform you, will inspire you, but hopefully will expand your capacity to do the most important thing in this world, which is to do some loving, to love one another, to love this community, love your country, to love humanity, and through that love, do things that you did not imagine that were possible. I bring to you right now a man who has studied at all the great universities in the world, who has taught students from Howard to Harvard, who has given lectures from places from Spelman to Princeton, who has been speaking to audiences far and wide and both local at home. He's a man that hasn't forgotten where he's come from and always takes time to talk to those who are working along their way. I bring to you my friend, my inspiration, and one of my life heroes, and one of the few people in my life, I've only given it to two people who have received the key to the city of Newark from me, and therefore he is truly, in my opinion, a great Newarker. I bring you Dr. Cornel West.
Well, what a privilege, what a blessing to be here today. Just look at all of these precious and priceless young folk. Let me look in your eyes and see. The eyes are the windows of the soul. You know that, right? And I can see there's a sweet spirit in this place. Is that right, you know? There's a sweet spirit in this place? Newark Collegiate Academy? Oh, yes. I want to begin though by saluting my very dear brother. We go back now. It must be almost 15 years or so. And to see the great contribution that he made. Tremendous sacrifice he makes. High quality service, not just to the city of Newark, to the country and to the world. And he's still a young brother. That's what blows my mind. He's not just young in energy. He's wise in his soul, but he's still on fire. It's a very difficult thing to do. You got to be a long distance runner. You got to be a marathon. You know, some folk come out of life. Sprint got to be like they got a lifetime. Pace themselves. But he's still on fire, my dear brother Mayor Cory Walker. Give him another hand. Give him another hand. And I'm going to go right down the road here because my dear brother right here, you added in a magnificent way. And I salute the work that you have done. You said you went from teacher to principal executive director, tied to the same project, keeping track of the tremendous potential of each and every young brother and sister, no matter what color, no matter what culture, no matter what gender, no matter what civilization. Right here in this man city of Newark. You all should realize now, each time I come to Newark, I bow. You know why I bow? Because two of the greatest artists of the 20th century come out of Newark. Sarah Vaughan and Philip Roth. That's serious business, you know. That's serious business. There's nobody like Divine Sarah. Even Maria Callas, she's a steal away. And that's Sarah. How do you hit those notes? Philip Roth, towering literary figure. You all know his work. Wrestling with Eros and Thanatos. Sex and death. Life in between. That's Newark, New Jersey. So you all recognize And as you cultivate your own talent and genius has already come out in Newark. I won't even talk about Brother Mary Baraka. That brother, another genius, and we won't go down the list. I just want to throw that footnote in before I get to dear Brother Nathan Smalley. Man, I'm moved by your spirit. Deeply moved by your spirit. Because I do understand what's going on here as a crusade. That's what it is. A deep crusade that love that Brother Cory was talking about. You have to have crusaders. People who believe in themselves and people who believe in each and every brother and sister of all colors who comes through this consecrated space. And I discern that in the spirit of my dear brother. I know they call you Nate, but I'll call you Nathan. Your mama calls you Nathan. Yeah, we love her too, brother. Give Brother Smalley a hand. What said about Sister Candace Knowles, that was just magnificent. Talk about your own life. You know it takes courage, especially when you're very young. Put your soul right there on the table. So you know what? I did something, I said something, and now I take it back. I've changed my mind, like Malcolm X, right? He was on fire in 59. He was speaking some truth, but about 64, he was still on fire. But he said, what? I got to take some things back. Now what Malcolm did? He said, I said some things about white brothers and sisters. I just got to take it back. That's growth. That's maturation. That's vulnerability. That's what we saw. Now, dear Sister Candace, you're already on the road in a mighty way. Not just the excellence, but also that deep, rich, profound notion of character that Sister Kendra talked about. They go hand in hand. Let's give both of them a hand. I first heard about this project from my dear brother, Sir Roger. We met there in Princeton, broke bread in Princeton. And you were so excited, thrilled, and so fundamentally self-invested in what this place was all about. I said, it would be a blessing for me if I get a chance to come through and take a look. Here we are. I salute you. I salute you. Give a brother a hand. Give a brother a hand. I want to acknowledge Sister Kathleen Nugent. Where is she? Where is Sister Kathleen? She helped I cannot proceed. I can't endure. I can't even exist in many ways without my dear sister, my magnificent assistant, Mary Ann Rodriguez, because I do not own a computer. I do not recommend that for you. It's a profound defect and deficiency of mine. I admit it. I'm a crack vessel. Pray for me.